Hello. Today we would like to tell you more about some optional tests that can help you learn more about the health of your pregnancy or a future pregnancy. We'll be talking more about an optional genetic test called carrier screening. But first, let's start with some review of the basic biology of our bodies. Our body is made up of trillions of cells. Inside each of our cells, we have our chromosomes. Chromosomes are just our DNA packed very tightly. Our genes are just small pieces of our DNA, and each one has specific directions to make us who we are. Some of our genes decide how tall we will be or what hair color we will have. We have two copies of each gene. A copy comes from our mom and a copy comes from our dad. When a gene doesn't work well, it can lead to health problems. So what is carrier screening? Carrier screening is an optional blood test that can be completed at any time while you are pregnant or even before you think about having a baby. The test is done to see if you carry a genetic change that may cause health problems in your children. So what does it mean if you find out you're a carrier? First of all, everyone carries genetic changes in their DNA, but most of these genetic changes do not cause health problems. Most people only find out that they are a carrier for a genetic condition because they have a blood test to find out. If you and your partner are carriers for the same condition, then it is possible you may have a child with health problems. If you find out you are a carrier of a genetic condition, then your healthcare provider will give you more information about the condition and what it means. What conditions can be tested for? If you have a family history of a genetic condition, are of Jewish descent, or would like to learn more about options for screening for more conditions, you can ask your healthcare provider to refer you to a genetic counselor to ensure that you are offered the right test. Right now, doctors say everyone should have the opportunity to learn and get tested to see if they are a carrier for cystic fibrosis, spinal muscular atrophy, or hemoglobin conditions. Let's learn a little bit about each of these conditions. Hemoglobin conditions. These conditions affect how well your body is able to produce hemoglobin. Hemoglobin is responsible for moving oxygen around the body. The most common condition affecting hemoglobin is sickle cell anemia, but there are other conditions that are similar. About 1 in 10, or 10% of people are a carrier for a condition that affects hemoglobin. Cystic fibrosis. Cystic fibrosis is a condition that affects the lungs and sometimes how we digest our food. It can also affect other parts of the body. About 1 in 25, or 4% of people are a carrier for cystic fibrosis. Spinal muscular atrophy. Spinal muscular atrophy, or SMA, is a condition that involves the nervous system and causes muscles to weaken. Some babies with this condition become ill in the first 6 months of life. About 1 in 40 to 1 in 60, or 2 to 3% of people are a carrier for SMA. We can obtain two types of results from this test, either positive or negative. If we get a positive result, that means we have identified a genetic change that makes you a carrier of a condition. You will be given an opportunity to talk to a genetic counselor about other testing options or to arrange for the baby's father to be tested. If the results come back negative, this means that we haven't found a change that makes you a carrier of a condition. This doesn't mean you're not a carrier, but it does reduce the chance. We wouldn't be concerned that you are at a greater chance of having a child with the conditions tested. After hearing all this information, if you want to have this test done, talk to your provider and they will send you to have blood drawn for the test. The results usually take 2 to 3 weeks to return and may be available in the MyChart application. If you have Medicaid, there is no cost for this test. If you have insurance through your work or a family member, you may be asked to pay something, but it depends on your insurance company. If you don't have insurance or Medicaid, the cost varies, but it can be a few $100s. Payment plans can be arranged. If you decide you don't want to have a screening, that's okay too. All babies born in North Carolina will be tested for hemoglobin conditions, cystic fibrosis, spinal muscular atrophy, and many other disorders through the newborn screening program shortly after birth. If you want to learn more about the newborn screening program, you can scan this code. If you want to learn more, you can ask your provider any questions you have. You can also request a referral to talk to a genetic counselor. Scan the code for a list of frequently asked questions about carrier screening.